going on, everybody? Safar Sadek here. Over the course of the past week or so, I've noticed somewhat of an uptick in these clown ass niggas from, various camps or whatever you want to call them, have been trying to take jabs at old Safar, and they think they slick about it. And I did a video a couple videos back somewhat addressing this, but it wasn't formal. So the Spirit put it on my heart, hey, formalize this and, do this lesson that I'm doing right now. And then after this, if it continues, then we're going to take shit to the next level. All right. You have nowadays among the so-called awakened house of Israel, you have all these motherfuckers that have sprung up out of any and everywhere. And, and I call it NEN Ministries. And that's who every one of these clowns are part of this organization. NEN stands for No Experience Necessary Ministries. All right. Let's look at this here real quick, and I'm going to show you, the profile of them. You got them right here. They're inside in comfort, talking to the laptop, because that's what their ministry consists of. Them on, social media, watching a whole bunch of videos, cutting and pasting this and that from various, other people that are doing real work. And then they'll put some shit together and, try to make it look like the Most High is dealing with them, and he's not. He really isn't. He's not dealing with them. And it's easy to spot these motherfuckers too. Real easy. Look at this. You look up above this fool. You got his little certificate of ordination right there and everything from some bullshit theology school or whatever the case may be. Not all of them have this, just the ones that, think they're really important. Look to the left, to the left of that certificate there. All of them, every single one of these motherfuckers, without exception, are social media syndicated. That's what I call it. And they got an award for it right there. Look at that. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Messenger. Yeah, these motherfuckers, their ministry is on all these platforms and other ones as well. These are the more popular ones. They got an award for it because they're always on there scouring these platforms for information that they can never get from the Spirit because they have no connection to the Spirit. So they solely rely on social media to go to various, videos of other people. And these are like damn energy vampires, pirates. And that's what they do. And, back in the day, they call that plagiarism. And that's what they're doing. And they're cutting and pasting this and that and this and that from various videos, put it all together and everything. And that's how they, do their shit. All right. Look down below. Yep. I told y'all about this shit. Patreon, PayPal, Cash App, and some of them even got other shit. They got multiple ways you can send cash to them. That's how they fleece the sheep, as I say. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're plagiarizing other people's videos and putting it together and coming to you like they're actually getting these words from the Most High and everything. And they're doing it consistent. Why? Because they're connected to to these social media platforms every day. Every day. This is what they do. This is their side hustle. We're in this post coronavirus pandemic bullshit. A lot of these jobs done been eliminated and motherfuckers had to stay at home and this, that, and the other. So there was an uptick in these motherfuckers since 2020. They've been around, but since 2020, man, there's been an explosion of these motherfuckers. All right. Well, generally, I've always known that they've existed. Have I gave a shit? No, because I got my own work to do. And my work's legitimate and it's accredited and I've earned my stripes. Okay. So I don't have to, give a shit about No Experience Necessary Ministries until they come over into my camp and put stupid ass comments on videos that I do. And every now and then one of these members or one of their ministers will come over there and make the mistake of doing that. They won't do it again afterwards though. They never do. Well, here lately, this new uptick, these motherfuckers, they won't come over there and do that. They're afraid to expose themselves like that. So what they'll do is they'll put a video out and everything in a somewhat of a generic sense, and they'll start taking jabs at shit they heard in one or more of my videos when they was over here pirating my material. And while they was doing it, they got cut to pieces by how I do shit over here, and how motherfuckers get rebuked and this and that and other, and they get cut. So then they get into their feelings and they want to lash out, but they try to be slick about the shit. Nope, ain't gonna work. Cause now this is the year of judgment. The cover is being pulled off of every work. Every work, the cover is being pulled off of it. So now that I'm being obedient to the Spirit and formally going back over that other video that I did on this, and I'm doing it this way, like the Spirit told me to do it. After this, hey, it's all out war after this. So I'm telling you right now, stay over there in NEN Ministries and do what you've been doing and fleece the sheep. That's the safest thing for you to do. All right. And as I go into the lesson and go into certain precepts and everything, as I do this lesson, you're going to find out if you got the mind to receive this wise safety in NEN Ministries, so long as you stay in there, keep your mouth in there and all your other bullshit. Stay over there and do what you've been doing. All right. I got this over here. I don't need your help. I don't need your criticism. I don't need your fucking encouragement. I don't need you, period. Because you were nowhere around while I was out here forging this work in a furnace of adversity. Your motherfucking ass was nowhere around to be seen or heard of. So I don't need you down here at the end. Don't have no need of you whatsoever. None. All right. So this is just a formal introduction to the warnings. Just get ready to receive for. Failure to comply, stand by. All right, let's get in here. Let's start this off. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 26. How is it then, brethren, when you come together online primarily, every one of you hath a song, hath a doctrine, hath a tongue, hath a revelation, hath an interpretation. Let all things be done unto edifying. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 26. And NEN Ministries is no different than these Christian denominational ministries. All of them got a different doctrine. This one teach this one. This one teach that one. And that one talks shit about this one. This one talks shit about that. Well, among the Israelites, NEN Ministries, the same shit. This one, run out of material because they're not connected to the Spirit of the Most High like they claim to be. So they go information pirating. But there's dangers in that because, you're exposing yourself to the raw truth when you go to certain sites. And it makes it real easy for your ass to get cut up. And that's what's happening to these motherfuckers lately, because the Most High, it's just like all this shit's turning up, these judgments and everything. And I mean, they really get ready to fucking turn up here within the next few days and weeks. So these types of teachings and everything are turning up, because right now Israel's being sifted like wheat, because the time has come that judgment must begin with us. So the Most High have us turning up the heat on Israel's ass, because Israel full of shit. All right. All you gotta do is just look around. Israel is full of shit. So the Most High is really turning up the heat in this word on Israel's ass. And you got a lot of people that's full of shit, especially these motherfuckers in NEN Ministries, and they get tired of getting cut up. Well, you ain't getting tired enough, because if you were tired enough, then you would fix that shit and straighten your ass up. Instead of trying to stop the ass whooping, stop the behavior that causes the ass whooping. Do it that way and you'll have a lot more success, I promise you. Let's look at Philippians chapter 1, verses 15 through 18. Some indeed preach Yeshua, even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preached Yeshua of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds. So this is indicative of these motherfuckers, you know, making their little bullshit videos and everything and call themselves taking jabs at me because of something that was said on one of my videos that, you know, I wasn't even reaching out to these fucking people in the first place. Be honest with you, personally, I could care less about NEN Ministries or anybody in it. I don't give a shit about you people, not at all. But know this, as long as you out here pirating information off of these other sites and everything, you better have on the full armor of the Most High, because if not, you're going to get fucked up. I'm telling you right now. So you better find some other sites to go do your vampiric work, your parasitic work at. Because if you hang around on my site, just one of my videos is enough to cause you cardiac arrest. You motherfuckers ain't ready for what's going on over here. Not on this site. It's men that's been following this work and can barely hang. Men, real masculine, authoritative men can barely hang on with this. But that's who the Most High is building up in these last days. So when all hell breaks loose, that's what it's going to take to shepherd some of y'all's dumb asses to safety long enough for you to get rescued out of this hellhole. And this work will not be hindered. This work will not be hindered, not in no way, shape, form, or fashion, especially by the likes of NEN Ministry. You motherfuckers don't have enough experience to fuck with something like this. Verse 17, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. They'll come over to the site. Y'all can come over here and pick all the information from, you know, over here that you want to. I don't know about it. I have guys in my inner circle that come back and tell me, especially of late, hey, man, listen to this video right here. And then I'll listen to it and I'll be like, yeah, I know exactly which video you got it from. So do they. I'm not in this by myself. I have a talented staff of brothers that I call my inner circle that watch the internet more than I do while I do this work. And whenever, you know, they pick up on certain things, and the spirit is working through all of us on an even keel. So whenever they pick up on shit and you jabbing at me, they'll pick up on it. They know you jabbing at me because they're connected to this work just as much as I am and have benefited it for several years, the ones in the inner circle. All right. So I don't know how y'all run y'all shit over there in no experience necessary ministries, but over here, I run a tight ship. Everything is done with military ferocity and military efficiency. That's how it's done over here. NEN Ministries is a bunch of candy asses. That's what's going on over there. Verse 18. What then? Notwithstanding, every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Yeshua is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. That's Philippians chapter 1, verses 15 through 18. I don't give a shit what y'all preaching and teaching over there. I don't have time to scour the internet looking for motherfuckers to critique and all this other shit. Why? Because I have a legitimate work to do, and I'm on my grind. You other motherfuckers over in NEN Ministries, y'all got too much time on y'all's hands. That's the reason why y'all can keep a lot of shit going. All right? Let's move on. Let's look at Titus chapter 1, verses 10 through 11. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, talking about especially among the Israelites, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. I just covered that in the presentation before I came on here. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. That's Titus chapter 1, verse 10 through 11. And see, I can't do that unless you take a jab at me and it gets brought to my attention. See, a lot of y'all have, flown under the radar and been taking jabs at this work. And you've been, successfully able to continue to fly under the radar. You ain't popped up yet. But you keep going, eventually you're going to pop up. And when you do, you're going to regret it. You'll probably end up tapping out of NEN Ministries and going back to the Christian church, or just tapping out of this altogether and go serve Satan fully. All right? I ain't out here, looking for fights and debates and all that, because it's pointless. There's souls that the Most High have already marked that he's setting up and linking up with certain people and everything so that they can be taken in certain locations so that we can get the fuck out of here. Because this place is getting ready to get totally destroyed so that the rest of the world could go on and fulfill all the rest of the prophecies. This place has fulfilled its prophecies, its purpose. It's done. So that's what I'm doing. My job, I was commissioned to train a cadre of masculine, authoritative men, iron sharpening iron, so that these men will be well versed and rounded around and be able to handle every situation in dealing with human psychology, in the word, being able to deal with your people, women especially, because y'all are going to make up the large number of the remnant that get taken out of here, because a lot of men going to get taken out when this shit really get crazy in this fucking country. Hell, it's already starting, especially black men. You think they're getting put to death now? You ain't seen shit yet. You'll know when it's going down when you start seeing dead bodies laying all over the ground and nobody getting them. And they blowing up in this damn heat and birds eating at them and dogs and all this. Then you'll know what's going down then. Then all this strong and independent bullshit, that's when you bitches are going to realize you need a man. And if it wasn't for works like this right here, sharpening these men up and getting them ready, y'all wouldn't have a chance in hell of getting out of this fucking shit hole. So stay off of this work. This work serves a greater purpose than anything you got going on. All right? Let's move on. Now, y'all listen to this carefully right here. This will keep your asses out of trouble. Acts chapter 5, verses 34 through 39. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, especially NEN Ministries, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. Y'all better fucking listen. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. Yep, part of NEN Ministries. Verse 37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxation, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. Yep, that's a hallmark of NEN Ministries. Verse 38. And now I say unto you, NEN Ministries, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught, just like your shit do. But if it be of a higher, you cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against a higher. That's Acts chapter 5, verses 34 through 39. And once you fucking fall to that level of degradation, you're ready for Narcom then. If you want to know what Narcom is, since you like poking on my site, poke on it long enough and you'll find out. All right? So the best thing to do is go on about your merry way. If you get cut, if you can't stand the kitchen, if you can't stand the heat, then stay out of my kitchen. Because I'm running Hell's Kitchen on steroids. So if you can't take that shit, don't come over there and glean information from me. Go somewhere else where you ain't getting cut up. Because I don't teach basic lessons. I don't. Because I'm not talking to kindergartners. I'm talking to college. I teach college professors and military drill sergeants. That's what's been taught on my site. That's the work that I do. This ain't for the squeamish, the feeble-minded, or the faint of heart. You know, your alumni of NEN Ministries. This ain't for you. So go play somewhere else. Do yourself that favor. All right? And you are apt to avoid a lot of unnecessary problems. Let's look at John chapter 7, verse 4. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. Let me read that again. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. So what does that mean? That means you secretly scouring social media, looking for information to cut and paste from other sites and everything. Why? So that you can be known openly. So that you can have a name for yourself on social media. All right? Because that's what your ministry is, based purely and solely on social media. Without social media, it wouldn't even exist. That's what I'm getting at. It wouldn't even fucking exist. Show thyself, if thou do these things, show thyself to the world. And that's what y'all are doing. You're showing yourself to the world on the World Wide Web, whereas in secret, you're sitting here, like I said, going between site to site to site, like trolls and shields, cutting and pasting or copying and pasting information from all these other people that are actually doing work worthy of mentioning, so that you can look like you're doing something. This is your side hustle. This is how you've been paying your bills and shit lately and putting food on your table and this and that and the other. Hey, I ain't gonna fuck with your hustle as long as you stay the fuck out of my work. If you come over there and everything, be like a ninja. Come in there and get what you want and get the fuck out and keep your mouth shut about it. At least do that, you know, show that you got some kind of intelligence by doing that right there. Because you're not gonna be able to handle what's gonna come out of this particular work moving forward past this video. You're not gonna be able to handle it. Because I'm coming with the fury of 1,000 cobras moving forward. The next time after I do this video that I have to address NEN Ministries again. I don't give a fuck who you are. Because I'm not fucking around with what you're doing over there, which I know ain't much or nothing. Do I give a shit? Nope. You're fleecing the sheep of the Most High. Do I give a shit? Nope. I don't come over there and fuck with you about it either. Now, if the word brings it out in one of my lessons and everything, then the word is bringing it out. I don't know you fucking people. Personally or privately, I don't know you, and I don't give a shit to know you. All right? The word knows all things. So you getting cut is the spirit calling your ass out for doing something you ain't got no business doing. And if there's an issue, fix it. Then it won't be an issue. It's really that simple. Or stay the fuck away from places where you know you are apt to your shit getting called out. Stay the fuck out of there. Then you won't have to worry about it. Yeah, you're going to be destitute of all the fresh wisdom and knowledge that you want people to think that you're getting from the spirit. Yeah, you're going to be cut off from that, but it'll save your ass from something far worse. All right? Let's switch gears here. Now I'm going to show you how this work was forged. And this is coming from Matthew chapter 10. I'll give you the precepts when I get to the bottom. These 12 Yeshua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not in the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's what this work was commissioned to do. Just like here, I had the exact same training that these brothers had, the exact same, and it can be proven too. And as ye go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Now, I ain't going to claim that I've, healed the sick. If I did, I didn't know anything about it. Or raised no dead. I was raised from the dead, but I didn't do it. When casting out devils, this word to cast out devils while it's going forth. That's why you motherfuckers in NEN Ministries now are starting to cry out. It's them demons in you that operate NEN Ministries. That's what it is. But you're going to be the one that damn suffer the brunt of the rebuke should it persist after this. The demons are going to move on and go fuck with somebody else and leave your ass there to catch hell. So watch your lip, all right? Freely ye have received, freely give. I ain't going to even go into that. If you want to learn about all that, you go watch my entire playlist and you'll find out. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. I was broke damn near the whole time I started this work. I have traveled all the way across the southern United States in the course of almost 2 years. All right. Been in Alabama, Mississippi, went through Louisiana, been in Texas twice, Oklahoma twice, been through New Mexico, came to Phoenix once before, went up to Las Vegas, Nevada, and then now I'm back down in Phoenix. Over the course of almost 2 years doing this work the whole fucking time. Oh, and I was in San Antonio, Texas when I was in Texas too, before I left out and came further west. Doing this work, go back through the playlist and listen to some videos a year ago, and I'll tell you in each one of these videos where I am and the circumstances that led up to me leaving while I was traveling and when I got to the next city and what I experienced and witnessed. See, this whole work is based on what I'm showing you right here. NEN Ministries don't have no stake to claim to anything like that. That's why y'all motherfuckers are weak. That's why what you're doing, that's why you have to be vampires and go around and hunt down works like this that actually mirror the success of how this thing started off. How you shot the original way he intended for works like this to be. This is it right here. If what you're doing doesn't mimic what I'm reading right here, then it's bullshit and it ain't gonna amount to nothing. Verse 10, nor scrip for your journey, neither two coats, neither shoes nor staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire in it who in it is worthy, and there abide till you go thence. Now, that was back then when we were still a nation, and it was common practice to receive travelers into your home and to keep them up and everything. Not today. I just did a video about that. Not my house. No, you can't do that today. You can't just be in people's houses today like you could back then. I stayed out in the streets. I've slept on sidewalks. I've slept behind dumpsters. I've slept out in open fields. I've slept out in the woods. I've slept out on a beach. I've slept in porta-johns. I've slept behind signs, wherever I could find a place to sleep, behind buildings, all that shit, while doing this work. Okay? While you motherfuckers are at home, like that presentation I showed you, in relative comfort, running your damn mouth on social media, because that's all y'all are, a social media dumbasses, for lack of a better way to express it. That's what y'all are. Because when social media, when they pull the plug on all this shit and that social media goes out with it, so will y'all. And then when you have to experience this right here, like I had to experience it, y'all not gonna make it because you're not ready. And when you come into an house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whatsoever or whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, then ye depart out of that house or city, shake the dust off of your feet. That's Matthew chapter 10, verses 5 through 14. And I did that in Asheville, North Carolina when I left. I shook the dust off my feet. 3 months later, this goddamn pandemic hit. Fucked them up. I was in Mobile. I had just left Biloxi, Mississippi, and made my way into Mobile, Alabama, when all this shit kicked off in 2020. All right. So, I mean, you motherfuckers in NEN Ministries, there's nothing you could tell me. Nothing. Because you are inexperienced. Hence the name, No Experience Necessary Ministries. You motherfuckers, most of you are young and dumb as hell, fucking still wet behind the ears, whippersnappers. That's all y'all are. The social media crowd, Generation Z or whatever the fuck they call y'all. A bunch of goddamn clowns. That's what the majority, or all of y'all in NEN Ministries, that's what y'all are. A bunch of fucking clowns. You're fucking feminine or effeminate as hell. A lot of y'all ain't ever left your damn state. And hardly none of you have ever slept outside of a house or some type of structure. So what the fuck can you tell me? Nothing. I don't give a shit what you doing or what you got going. You never would have survived what I went through out on these streets in all these different cities. None of you would have. Not damn one, and you know you wouldn't have. But this work that I'm doing mirrors exactly what I just showed you, how Hamashiach originally set the so-called, what you people call church today. This is how it was set up. And I've hardly ran into any other brother, just a handful, I could count on one hand, that was doing any type of work similar to what I was doing. On one fucking hand. Everybody else is part of NEN Ministries, following around us and everything like damn puppies, like pets, trying to get whatever they could. So, you know, that they could get people to think that they were like us. Motherfucker, you can't be like me. If you ain't ready to walk this walk, then don't try to talk this talk. Because y'all don't realize when you put your hand to this plow and look back or back up or go back, everything that this work entails, you're responsible for it. And the Most High gonna hold you accountable for the whole thing from start to finish. Whether you only heard 5 seconds, you're gonna be held accountable for everything on here. All these advanced teachers that you will never be able to understand or comprehend. So the best thing to do is just go on go back on social media and go other places and get information to put together to deceive your people. Okay? Don't come over here for your own safety. All right? I'm being nice about this shit now, because after this, there's no more nice. The mask comes off and I'm gonna unleash the fucking dragon on y'all's asses. Let's move on. Let's look at Luke chapter 22, verses 35 through 36. And he said unto them, when I sent you without purse and scrip and shoes, lacked ye anything? And they said nothing. I got the same testimony. Matter of fact, when I was out in the streets, I'm in an apartment now, but when I was out in the streets, I ate a hell of a lot more food and better quality food than even what I'm eating right now. The Most High took care of me out there in those streets. I had more personal items and hygiene items and shit like that. The shit was accumulating so much, I had to set up various tents. When I was in San Antonio, Texas, I had found a spot. The Spirit had led me to that spot. And I had a big tent. That was my main tent. And these people were giving out so many resources. They was giving out tents. I set up 2 other tents out there and were using them like storage sheds. And I had a bicycle while I was there, a good one too. When I got my last stimulus check, I spent about $600 on that bike. I was taking shit back and forth out there every day. I had so much stuff out there, I could have opened up a Dollar General out there for at least 5 or 6 months. I'm talking about name brand, top quality shit, food and everything I had out there. And I was the only one out there. Nobody even knew I was back there. Until one day some dude came back there. I didn't know if he was the landowner or what. And he had a dog with him. And the Most High made it to where that dog didn't even catch my scent. And I got my ass off from under there and went back under the bridge that I was staying under in the tent community. And some woman just gave this dude a tent that was camped out in front of me. He gave it to me. I set the motherfucker up. Had bed springs in that shit. Had food and everything. I still got the other place. Had food piled up in that motherfucker, and had another spot if I wanted to. I could have had somebody else live there. It was a 10-person tent. All right? So y'all motherfuckers can't come over here and say shit because you ain't been through shit. Nothing. But all y'all's asses will get ready to go through shit. My question is, do you really have a relationship established with the Most High that when put under pressure, You'll be willing to risk your very fucking life knowing that that relationship is so solid that you'll be able to just walk away from NEN Ministries and everything that you have right now and just walk out into the great unknown, knowing full well that the Most High is going to take care of you. Any of y'all going to do that? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So don't come over here and try to instruct the instructor. You don't have no ground to stand on. You have no fucking experience. All right? What you're doing does not reflect what's already been established in the scripture, so it's bullshit. So you don't get to come over here and tell me a damn thing. Nothing. I died out on these goddamn streets in Dallas, Texas. And the Most High sent me back. He was like, oh no, your work is far from finished. You still got too much work to do. The enemy killed you on a technicality, go back. Boy, the enemy was mad as fuck, couldn't do shit about it. Still can't. Still can't. All right? So y'all stay the fuck off from over here because you're a bunch of damn clowns and you're inexperienced. I've earned my goddamn stripes. What's your excuse? I earned my stripes. I have the authority to operate this work the way I do. I've earned it. And the relationship that I have with the Most High is so solid, I just pick up the next day and just go to another city and don't even give a fuck. Ain't never been there before. Don't give a fuck. Because I know when I get there, I'm going to find out everything I need to know within one day. I'll sleep, behind a building somewhere. I'm prime military. I know how to sleep in places in plain sight and nobody even know I was there. I'm an expert at that shit. I was in the 82nd Airborne when I was in the Army. I was in the Navy and Army. When I got in the Army, I've had specialized training like some of these special forces guys have had. And I'm a wilderness survival prepper, survivalist type. So you motherfuckers ain't got no experience. You have no grounds to stand on when you come over here and try to instruct me or correct me on anything. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you ain't been where I've been and you haven't done what I've done and you haven't leaned on the Most High like I've leaned on him. Never. And you never will because you're a fucking bitch. Let's just call it what it is. So don't come over here to the big dogs camp and try to, sway your little faggot ass American opinion. That shit don't fly here. The people that watch my videos that are subscribed over here, they don't even get to do that shit. So you damn sure ain't gonna get to do it. All right? You come over here to learn how to survive when everybody else is dead. That's the only reason why you need to come over here. Anything other than that, stay your ass out of here. Let's look at 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto a hire, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That's 2 Timothy 2:15. Because moving forward, that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to be made ashamed. Because I already know you ain't in the word like you got these other people thinking. All right? And when I get you, I'm going to get you so the people that support you are going to catch wind of it. And when I'm done with you, a lot of them are going to leave your camp and come over here where they can be taught what you're not teaching them. Because a lot of them are already on the fence with your ass as is. You just don't know about it. So your side hustle going to become my side hustle. Just, FYI. Let's look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11. And that ye study to be quiet. Shut the fuck up. You don't know nothing. You ain't been through nothing. The only way you can know something is to have been through some shit. You're in your house on your phone and your computer or your tablet or whatever. That's what NEN Ministries is all about. It's a social media sensation to the weak and simple-minded and nothing more. You can't hang over here. I took this shit to the streets. This ministry was forged in the streets, just like it was what Yeshaya had originally set up. What's your excuse? What's the foundation of what you're doing? Fleecing the sheep. That's it. Study to shut your ass up and to do your own business. You stay in NEN Ministries to do what they do over there and work. And to work with your own hands as we commanded you, like I'm commanding you now. You stay over there, stay in your lane and do what y'all do over there. Don't come over here and think you're going to try to sway opinions and this and that and the other over here. This work is solid. This is real men space over here. You candy asses and all you other motherfuckers that are going to die, you ain't going to make it over here. The only way you're going to make it over here is by gluing your lips shut when you come over here, and especially after you leave and you done got cut up or whatever. Just take it as a grain of salt and move your ass home. Don't expose yourself to something you can't handle. All right? Just telling you. Look at 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions. NEN Ministries don't believe in enduring afflictions. Period. They don't believe in it. A motherfucker can't hardly say nothing to y'all without y'all getting into y'all's feelings. And you think you're going to be able to deal with this type of work? What it was built on? Yeah, okay. Do the work of an evangelist. Make full proof of thy ministry. I ain't got to do that. I've already done it. I've earned my stripes. This work is locked, cocked, and ready to rock at any moment. What's your excuse? All right. Now, we're going to switch gears to finish this up here. Now, these are some tenets that you can take with you after hearing all this if you made it this far. And I strongly suggest you take these tenets to heart and apply them vigorously more than you do anything else to what you got going over in NEN Ministries, and you're more apt to stay off the radar and therefore not have to lose everything you've worked hard to achieve. All right? Because times are getting harder right now. You can't afford to lose your customer base. Don't do that because of some hurt feelings. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1. Strive not with a mighty man, lest thou fall into his hands. And that's what you're dealing with over here. All right? I done been tested, tried, and true. Down to nothing. Something you ain't never experienced, and you wouldn't make it if you did. Hell, you wouldn't even make it on just the, if you got wind that you was getting ready to go where I was going, your ass to commit suicide. You can't touch this. You can't deal with this over here. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 7 through 9. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. Well, you're never going to understand what's going on over here because you're not on this level. You have to suffer the loss of all things indefinitely before you can even begin to understand what this work is all about. And ain't none of you done it. None of you. None of you. So stay the fuck off from here. If you want to come over here like a fly on the wall, I don't care. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your identity hid. It's for your own good. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not. This work don't concern you. Because you'll never be able to measure up to it. So it doesn't concern you. And sit not in judgment with sinners. Yeah, NEN Ministries. That's Ecclesiastes 11, chapter 11, verses 7 and 9. Last one. Y'all really better pay attention to this right here. Because moving forward, this is where it's going. Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer in the word than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. Better think about that. And the last one sums it all up. But cruelly he will lay up thy words, and will not spare to do thee hurt and to put thee in prison. That's Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verses 2 through 12. So moving forward, after this right here, I don't care if you heard it or not, it's now official. It's been put out. So anything past this point, I'm coming after you. And I'm going to use your own words to fuck you up. Because, why? Because you're going to have a lack of the word to protect you. All right, you've been warned.